Okay, so this week I have been working out the pattern in the painting that you see behind me. So that would be the purple of the color elements that you see painted in roughly. I use pattern to, so show a sense of cycles of time and life and things that we repeat in our daily lives in general. I add that into the work along with this sense of struggle with the weed. So we'll see how this develops. I'm going to additionally be adding in my own invented figures, which you'll see me start to work out across this week.
So with the patterns that I produce for these paintings, I do a lot of research looking at historical patterns and finding ones that will suit the needs for a particular narrative that I want to express with the work. And so this is one I've been looking to with these images of this hunter and these animals that I think will go well with what I want to develop with the rest of the piece.
So at this point, becomes the more difficult aspects of creating the work, where I'm sorting out what the conceptual developmental ideas are, going to be behind the work, developing a narrative, thinking about what I might potentially suggest to the viewer without being too didactic. So I decided to add in this visual element behind me. It's actually like cow poop that I've seen on my walks, which I feel like has a little bit of the form of a heart. So kind of play with that with this painting, but I'm also, thinking about a dialogue that's going to happen with some figures that I'm developing, as well as getting this sort of foreground, background relationship working out. I'm starting in with this pink here with the pattern. So that's something that you'll see me work on, and hopefully the whole thing will start to come together in a more exciting way. So with this pink glaze I'm adding on to the paint right now, I'm using liquid, as you can see here. And then I often just put like a bunch of it on the center of the palette and just like dip my brush into a bit of paint and then a lot of liquid. And then you're gonna get like, these effects of that transparent color that you see here. And so I kind of show you a little bit of that. But it creates a nice effect. It's an easy way to get some color quickly across the piece. So for the past few days, I've been working here on developing some characters that I'm going to insert into my work. So I'll give you a little bit of a look at, how these are coming together. What you see here is some drawings I've been making the past few days, and I'm working on multiple different fragments of different body parts, animal parts, decorative elements that I'm then transforming into these characters that I'm producing that I'm going to insert onto my work. So this one is an example. So you see these different elements, just legs, just some head, torso, baby head. And what I'm doing is hopefully over time, I want to develop hopefully hundreds of these so that I can kind of mix and match and transform these characters into different sorts of narrative that I want to put onto my work. So this is just one example that I'm starting with, and keep in mind, this is a brand new idea, so we'll see how it goes. So I brought together, this head and body, and then these legs came in here. And then I wanted to also add in these sort of outer forms. So I wouldn't necessarily have to use the entire portion of the drawing in the work. So I decided to cover that bit up and then put that kind of underneath and turn it into, what I decided I wanted this creature to become. And then I put another sheet of, this acetate on top, traced my figure on there, and then this is what you have. And so that's what I'm doing with, these other characters. So I've cut out this figure that I'm then going to put up here. You can see I kind of tried to map out the area where the figure is going to be in the painting. I thought about different solutions for this, but I just found that this is the best and most efficient way for my desired intention for what I want this to turn into. And then later I'm gonna, paint this in, but this gives me an idea of where it's gonna be placed, a little bit of a sense of, maybe how it'll look. And we'll see how it goes.